Okay, teacher.
Okay, Jairo, good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon.
Today we are going to study the session 2 in Unit 2, Career Moves. This is the topic we are going to study right now. So let me introduce the topic we are going to study. At the beginning, we have here a grammar focus comparison with adjectives, nouns, verb, and past participle. Here you have some rules about comparison. Comparison with adjectives. For example, here is more, less interesting than with verb, earn, more, less than. Is harder than, earn as much as. Is not as hard as, doesn't earn as much as. This is with adjectives and with verb. And with noun, we have here has better or worse hours than, is better paid than, has more education than, is as well paid as, isn't as much work as, isn't as well paid as. Okay, I have a little bit problems. Okay, grammar explanation. The comparative form of an adjective is commonly used to compare two people, things, or states when you want to say that one thing has a larger or smaller amount of a quality than other. In the second part of the comparison is mentioned, it follows than. Anna, this is an example. Anna is taller than Mary, but Mary is older. Can you understand this comparison, Jairo?
Yeah. Yes.
Ana is taller. Ana es más alta than
Salta.
Mary, que María, ¿verdad?
Sí,
But
pero
Mary
María es
is
mayor.
older, es mayor, exactamente. Emma is much slimmer than when I last saw her. Do you understand this? Emma is much slimmer than when I last saw her. Ana es más alta. No. Emma is.
Emma está mucho más delgada
Ajá.
que la última
Que
vez.
cuando la vi la última vez. Ok. Online learning is less expensive than conventional college courses. Comparison in which you are considering whether two people or things are equal is shown by using as in the affirmative and not as or not so as in the negative. In this case, Helen is as tall as Linda, but not as strong. Helen is as tall as Linda. ¿Entendés esto aquí? Helen
Sí,
es tan
Helen
alta
es tan alta
como Linda, ¿verdad?
como,
Como
pero
Linda,
no tan fuerte.
pero no tan fuerte, exacto. Superlative. The superlative form is used for more than two people, things, or states. When one thing has qualities that exceed all the others, superlative adjectives have the in front of them, but it can be omitted in predicative position. Example, that is the smallest camera I have ever seen. This means that maybe you compare another cameras with the other people, with other people. Por ejemplo, tenés dos cámaras anteriores antes que vieras esta última.
Sí,
Esta es la cámara más pequeña
¿qué
que
es
jamás he
esto?
visto, ¿verdad? He gave the least expensive gift to his sister. I'll have whichever is the ripest. There are two ways in which the comparative and superlative form of adjectives are formed. You add er comparative or est superlative to the adjectives. Adjectives with one syllable usually take this ending. Example. Comparative and superlative. Bright is the verb, and brighter is the comparative, but the brightest is the superlative. Long,
Yes.
longer is the comparative, and the longest is the superlative. Sharp, sharper is the comparative, and the sharpest is the superlative. If the word already ends in E, the E must be left off. If a word ends in Y, it usually takes ER, or EST, and the Y change to I. Eso cambia. Example, wise, wiser, the wisest. Pretty, here is the letter Y at the end. We change the letter Y by I. Can you observe this? Pretty by prettier, and the prettiest. The letter Y change at the end of the in the comparative and the superlatives. Worry, worrier, and the worries. You add the word more or most in front of the adjectives. Adjectives with 3 syllables or more use more or most in front of the adjectives. Comparatives and superlatives. Fortunate, more fortunate, and the most fortunate. Can you observe the difference? In this case, Jairo, we have a word with more than 2 syllables. And in this case, we add at the beginning of the word, the prefix more. This is the prefix, el prefijo, more fortunate in the comparative. The most fortunate is in the case of superlatives. Relevant, more relevant. We can count 1, 2, and 3 syllables. The most relevant, because the adjective is very long. And for this reason, we add in the comparative more, and in the superlative, the most. Adjectives from participle use more or most as well. In this case, we have provoking, more provoking, and the most provoking. Enthralled, more enthralled, the most enthralled. To indicate the opposite of both, the ERL, EST, and the most form of comparison, less or least, is always used. In this case, we have sharp, less sharp, the least sharp. Fortunate, less fortunate, the least fortunate. Can you understand this, Jairo?
Yes, yes.
Afortunado, el menos
El
afortunado
menos.
y el menos afortunado y el menos
El menos
afortunado.
afortunado. Yes.
Interesting, less interesting, and the least interesting. Involved, less involved, and the least involved. Here we have another explanation. Shallow, shallower, and the shallowest. Or more shallow, or the most shallow. Polite, politer, and the politest. Or more polite, or the most polite. If you can observe, we can use here the two forms, politer or maybe more polite. Espérame un momentito. Ya regreso, ¿viste? Un
Ok,
momentito, que
dicho,
me están
tranquilo.
llamando, me están llamando.
Tranquilo, dicho.
Ya va, ya va.
Esta maestra de jiu-jitsu brasileño es una tendencia por su increíble técnica de combate. Observen cómo ella hace que él se rinda en segundos. Esta maestra ¿alguna vez se preocuparon por una fiesta clásico para una fiesta privada? Los Reyes de Reyes, los GOAT, Luis Miguel, Rubén Blades, Gilberto Santa Rosa, Bacilos. Me respondió Basilos. Yo creo que este video va a ser yo emocionado siendo fan de estos artistas. $55,000. Rubén Blades.
Okay, sorry, Jairo. Sorry, Jairo.
Ok,
I'm
dicho.
with you again. Okay. In this case,
Ok.
I repeat a few minutes ago, polite, you can use politer and also more polite. And also you can use the politest. This is an exception to the rules, the most polite, because you can observe here two syllables, polite, politer, and the politest, and the most polite. A small group of irregular adjectives have quite different form for the comparatives and superlative form. In this case, we have good. This change everything. Good, we change by better in the comparative and the best. This is a way to say a comparative with a superlative in a different way. In the case of bad, que es malo, worse and the worst. Malo, peor
Peor.
y el peor, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Far, farther and the farthest. ¿Verdad? Lejos, lo más lejos y el más lejos. Okay, this is the end of the explanation with these superlatives and comparative for us adjectives. The next step that we have here, this is a video about comparison. You will have enough time to watch by yourself. We have here two videos about comparative. This is a comparative quiz. You will have the opportunity to do it by yourself. In class reading help, how can I find a job? Okay, we are going to read this. Can you read this, Jairo? Help, how can I find a job?
Yes.
Make a short list.
Make a short list of things people should do to find a job.
Find a job.
Dice, when scan
Then
the,
scan. Yeah.
the message board has really 18
18
done,
done.
18 done any of these things.
Okay.
Living being
I have been
I have been hop hunting
job
for
hunting.
a year wide no look. I have done all the right things. Graduated.
I graduate.
I graduate.
I
No.
graduate with
With
a
degree in information the technology.
technology.
Technology. Everybody say you can go wrong with it. Have
IT.
sent my IT. Have sent my resume
My resume
to lots of local.
to lots of local
To lots of
companies.
companies. I dress professionally and answer interview question well. but I but I
but
haven't
I haven't
but, gotten
a single job
offer. Other applicants have work experiences with
experience.
how can
How can I get
how can I get how can I get
experience? Experience.
experiences
Experience.
if no one offer my
Offer me a
help
job.
help.
Es una pregunta, Jairo. How can I get experience if no one offer me a job? ¿Cómo puedo tener experiencia si nadie me ofrece un trabajo? ¿Me entendés? Y es lo que
Sí,
muchas
sí,
personas se preguntan, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo
yes,
voy a obtener un trabajo si en realidad no me dejan practicar dentro de un trabajo? ¿Verdad? Es lo que nos pasa muchas
yes.
veces. Help, Riley 18. Okay, continue with the next one. What kind?
What kind what kind of jobs are you applying for?
Applying for.
I figured you are, I mean, too high.
Okay.
Don't be too
Proud.
proud,
Proud.
proud. Entering the job market for the first time re-
Requires.
requires you to be modest. Good luck.
Okay. Eric Jones. Ahora, the thing about
The thing about
IT,
it, IT is you need to
specialize,
specialize. I work in medicine,
diagnostic,
diagnostic,
imagine,
imaging, stuff like pet,
stuff,
stuff like
stuff
pet,
like pet, and
at
MRI,
MRI scanning using complex software that can
only, only be operated,
only be operated by highly specialized
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 people.
people.
Okay. The next one. I had the same problem.
I had the same problem as you. I graduated.
I
I
graduate
I think too. Then I went to career
a career counselor.
counselor. She made
She made me realize
me realize I am more
suited, suited
suited
to a job,
to a job with people than one with computers. I am
computers.
really socially person.
I am a really sociable person.
I appeared
I
for
apply,
work. I applied for
I
work.
apply for work in
I
telesales,
in telesales. ¿Cómo?
telesales, televentas.
In telesales and got a job immediately.
Immediately,
Immediately. I love it. Talk to
I
people
talk to people
on the phone all day.
on the phone all day.
All
Okay.
day.
All day, all day. Okay, Jackies, don't just
Don't just sit there and expect a job. I hope to come to you. When hope who think
when job hunting,
they're most important.
repeat, when job hunting,
Job hunting, they're most important.
the three most
Things
important things,
things to remember are location,
location, location,
location.
location.
Eat,
Sí.
eat the streets
The
and
streets, hit the
go where,
streets and go
hit the
where
street and go where the jobs
the
are.
jobs are. Okay. The last one. There are so many more interesting, okay,
There are so many more interesting hubs than
jobs,
working hubs,
jobs than working.
jobs than working with computers. Why doesn't those everyone
Why
thing
does everyone think?
eating is
Why
so
does
special?
everyone think it so
Thing
special?
is so special. Everyone has to eat and drink. Why don't you open a coffee shop
A
or
coffee shop
restaurant?
or a restaurant. Okay. Okay, very interesting. All of these email that everyone posts in online. Okay, let's move to the request with modal verbs and clauses. Request with modal verbs and clauses if. Here we have request with modal if clauses and gerunds. We have from less formal to more formal. Can I borrow your pen, please? Is a less formal to request a pen. Can I borrow your pen, please? Could you lend me a jacket, please? This is something more formal. Is it okay if I use your phone? Do you mind if I use your laptop for a minute? Would it would it be all right if I compare our homework? Would you mind if I borrow your new camera? Would you mind babysitting my kids on Saturday night? I was wondering could, if could borrow some money. Uh, all of this expression, Jairo, you can use it in order to request something that you want. For example, if you need, for example, can I go to the park with you this afternoon? Or may I borrow your laptop today only for a minute? This is a formal way or maybe an informal way to ask for something. And you can apply for different expression, maybe less formal or maybe more formal. All of these expressions are used in the real explanation. We have here request with modal verbs and clauses if. In this grammar, we explain how you can express requests by means of the modal verbs can, could, and would, plus a and if clause. In this case, it is important to highlight two particular characteristics of this structure. Degrees of formality, less formal to more formal. You should use less formal requests with friends or people you know very well, and more formal requests with whom you don't have as much confidence in certain situation. When the request is unusual or too demanding, it is preferable to use the more formal structure with friends or acquaintances. Es decir, si vos tenés contacto con una persona que conoces de mucho tiempo, puedes utilizar una expresión menos formal para solicitar algo. Hey, can you give me your pen, please? Pero si no conoces a una persona y estás a lo mejor en la fila de un banco y necesitas un lapicero para endosar tu cheque, decir, ay, ¿cómo le digo? Puedes usar can o mejor uso would. O mejor uso would you mind if I borrow your pen, please? Es una manera muy formal de solicitar un favor. ¿Ok? Number of words, wording. Using more words tends to soften and give the message more humility and courtesy. For example, I was wondering if you mind, es lo que te acabo de explicar, if I wonder if would bother you, y le pedí algo allí. There are normally 5 alternatives in all cases. The translation is similar to can I use? Can I borrow from you? And here we have different cases. Would, with would if plus past tense, example. Will it be all right if I use your laptop? Yeah, it's a good way to request something. Do you mind if, in present tense, do you mind if I use your laptop? Is it okay if, present tense, it is okay I use your laptop? Would you mind if, simple past, would you mind if I borrow your laptop? Although it doesn't not have an if clause, the traditional structure would you mind plus gerund you with the let, bear in gerund. Also serves to smooth a request. Observe this. Would you mind letting, no if. Would you mind letting me borrow your laptop? Aquí preguntaría, ¿te importaría prestarme tu
Prestarme.
laptop, verdad?
Yes.
Ok, menos formal, less formal. Can I borrow your pencil? Es lo que te explicaba hace un rato. Could you please lend me a suit? A suit. It's okay if I use your phone. Do you mind if I use your CD player? Would it be okay if I use your fax machine? Nadie usa fax machine hoy en día. Would it be okay if I use your fax machine? Would you mind if I borrow your video camera? Would you mind letting me borrow your laptop? I wonder if I could borrow $100. Oh my God. I was wondering if you mind lending me your car. All of these expressions are very important and very useful to know about it. The next activity is about a video, request with modal, a practice exercise. You will have the opportunity to watch it. How to make an indirect request. Okay, here we have. It's opening for you. How to make an indirect request. The indirect request grammar focus is a statement. Jeff, Tony is having a party. Indirect request introduced by that. Could you tell Jeff that Tony is having a party? You can omit the word that. Could you tell Jeff Tony is having a party? Or you only say, could you tell Jeff, no, could you tell Jeff that Tony is having a party? Imperative. Jeff, don't be late. Indirect request using infinitive. Can you tell Jeff not to be late? Yes, no question. Sophia, are you free on Friday? Sophia, do you have my number? Indirect request introduced by if or whether. Can you ask Sophia if she is free on Friday? Could you ask her whether or not she has my number? Double A question. Jeff, when does the party start? Sophia, what time should I pick you up? In the request, can you ask Jeff when the party starts? Could you ask Sophia what time I should pick her up? Okay. The next one is a grammar explanation. For unspoken English, how to make an indirect request here. For a spoken English, student learning is a continuous process. There is a lot to learn. Always some room for improvement. However, that doesn't mean that it will take you years to be able to speak in fluent English. Even people who are fluent English speakers need to update their vocabulary and learn the new trends in order to keep updated. The key to good English speaking is that one needs to keep learning and improving spoken English continuously. How will you learn English? There are many mediums through which you can learn and practice English speaking. Online English courses are one such medium and very convenient one as well. There are many aspects of spoken English. Making requests is one of them. When making requests, it can be two types, directs and indirects in today's blogs. We shall learn the basic of making indirect requests. Okay. What is an indirect request? A request is when you ask for a favor or assistance from another person. It can be of any nature. One make a request when they are incapable of doing something themselves. However, many a time you cannot go and directly make requests. The reason for the same can be many. Maybe you do not wish to make the other person feel uncomfortable, or you yourself may not be comfortable with making the request. Whatever the reason, there are many ways by which you can make an indirect request. Following are few. Ways to make an indirect request. Third person. Involving a third person, could you ask Raj to report to me after lunch? In this sentence, you are asking someone else to pass information to Raj means that you are making a request to Raj, but through a third person. Please tell Nisha to clean up the dining table. Even in this sentence, the information is for Nisha, but pass it through someone else. This is an impersonal way of making a request. Passing the information, many times you need to pass certain information to a person. However, you simply leave the information with a third person, entrusting them to pass it to the desired person. Could you tell the student that the extra class start at 3? In this example, you are entrusting the information on one person to be passed or to the desired audience. Here is another example. Please inform the boss that I will be late by an hour. Seeking information. Sometimes it is you who need some information and you ask a third person to get it. Could you ask him the cost of this watch? In this sentence, you need to know the cost of the watch, but instead of asking the shopkeeper yourself, you are asking someone else to do that job for you. This is an important way to get information. How is the most important? How you are going to ask something, Jairo? How to request something in a direct or indirect question. The idea is that you can ask for something in a formal or informal way. Maybe not informal, but less formal. The idea is that you can visualize what kind of expression you are going to apply when people you know and when people that you don't know, because we used to be more formal with people that we don't know. and we use formal expression. Would you mind if I borrow your computer, please? We cannot say to some people, request something in a less formal way. For example, can I borrow your laptop, please? To a person who I don't know. No, we don't use that expression. I
Yes.
want that you understand this. Quiero que entienda eso. Menos formal cuando conocemos a personas que todos los días vemos comúnmente. Y más formal con las personas que no solemos platicar con ellas. ¿Ok? Jairo,
Okay, teacher.
are you allí? Are
Okay,
you there,
teacher.
man? Okay.
Okay.
The next activity is about a video and the exercises are here. Okay. I need to go down.